Watching Macross Plus for the first time reminded me of this theory I once heard about. When there's a love triangle with two guys chasing a girl, it's not really about the girl. It's all about the gays.
They're homosexual.
I swear I'm not making this up. It's a legit theory, okay? And nope, I'm not gonna ship the pilots and fawn over them. This video is about my girl Myung and where she is positioned in the world of Macross Plus. Hello and welcome to Tiny Wave TV. If you've been following my Macross journal, welcome back. This one's a little different. It's part of a series of 2 videos. They're related but self-contained. So if you enjoyed this one, be sure to check out the other. So what I'm talking about is the work of Kosofsky, Sedgwick. It's called the theory of male homosocial desire. Fancy words, but the gist is guy friendships aren't just bro time. They live on a spectrum that runs from high fives to wait, is this flirting? And society usually pretends the middle of that spectrum doesn't exist because homophobia. Now here's where it gets spicy. The erotic triangle. Sedgwick builds on René Girard's idea of triangular desire. In a love triangle, the bond between the rivals, usually 2 dudes, can be just as strong or even stronger than either's bond to the woman. And the woman, she's caught in the middle, often treated like this exchangeable property that connects the fellas. And Sedgwick's point isn't just, wow, messy drama. It's that this whole setup, the trafficking women, is a structural pattern that props up patriarchy. In other words, bros use triangles to bond, and women end up being the currency that makes the system run. If that ain't the plot of Macross Plus, but maybe not word for word, but it explains like 80% of the whole Myung, Isamu, Gold mess. There are several moments that got me like, these gays, they don't care about her. That reunion on the Star Hill, Gold says to Isamu, you can't have them. Not Myung, nor the project. Notice how an entire human being is in the same sentence at the same level as a project. But anyway, like, who gave you the right to set this game up and decide she's the prize? Meanwhile, Myung's standing right there. Like, you know what? I'm out of here. She has removed herself from their nonsense and is trying to keep it that way. That night at the karaoke bar, the moment she finds out Case called the boys, she's gone. The past is in the past. Bye, bitches. She could probably keep avoiding their gay avian asses. I'm not homophobic. Oh my god. If Sharon hadn't intervened, which brings us to 2 moments in particular that literally made my stomach churn. Myung and Gold engage in cultural activities. That is not the disgusting part, of course. She realizes that she doesn't want to avoid Gold, and if she has it in her to get past the thing that happened with him, who am I to judge? Even though I do. Plus, girl, you want it? Get it! Like, get that Zentradi joystick. Sorry. Anyway, no, that was not at all disgusting. But Gold's freaking smug smile when he lets Isamu know, and what the F was that fingers and toes line? Huh, Isamu?
Are you not ashamed of yourself?
He does the exact same thing after that picnic in the forest with Myung. Gold is like, yo, what the F? And Isamu plays it like he scored a point, as if it didn't just leave the girl to go chase the big bird right in the middle of an important conversation. And when they finally kiss and make up, the boys, they fly together, and it's supposed to be this wholesome scene. I just couldn't shake this feeling of uneasiness. Because after Gold remembers everything and they have this conversation, Gold is like, yo, I called you this and that, but you didn't say anything. Even though you knew everything, and Myung knew everything. Y'all feel sorry for me. Isamu interrupts him with this thing from the past when he smashed a plane Gold had made. So he confesses that he did it, saying, yo, it was so good. I just had to take you for a ride. He's redirecting the conversation from this heavy, gloomy vibe into this lighter route, using the confession along with praise for Gold's work. And after lifting the mood a little, he says, bro, just forget about the past. Gold follows suit. He returns the playful tone, and they just laugh about it. I thought it was cute, but it was also like, what about her? There seems to be very little room in their conversation to consider how being involved with them has affected Myung. I mean, mean, between the two of you, this girl was deeply wounded. Y'all aren't giving me a single reason to believe you actually grasp how deep we're talking here. The fact that they were childhood friends obviously makes the breakup hit way harder, but the OVA gives us a flashback that might add another layer of intensity. Stills of the forest with jet trails slicing the sky, a bunch of girly stuff scattered on the ground, a broken mirror reflecting the moving clouds, an appended bicycle, child Myungs crying in the background, and the boys promising they will be there for her, protect her. Something intense has clearly happened, whether it's one of those moments that feels huge because you're too young to handle it, or something to do with her parents. War does exist in this world, or maybe even that snake incident Myung mentioned. What's clear is that she leaned on the two of them, on their friendship. So the experience has been terrifying for her, complete with heartache and betrayal. Now my question for these gays is, do y'all even care? Or do you have other priorities, like winning and asserting your dominance? When Myung shows up, she's clearly not okay. Quitting singing is the biggest red flag that only Kate seems concerned about enough to take some sort of action. Gold is more concerned with quote-unquote protecting Myung from Isamu. And Isamu, he addresses it the way a 5-year-old would probably. He's like, this is not right, then proceeds to chase Big Bird. Later, when they fight and she literally gets hit trying to intervene, when she pours her heart out, how empty what she's doing is, as Sharon's puppeteer, how empty she feels. He's like, this is BS, I'm out of here. Like,
You cannot be for real.
it seems to me that this dynamic constantly puts Myung in the role of a passive object, just sitting there waiting for one of the guys to win her, with zero regard for what she might feel or who she might prefer. And it seems like every time she tries to, within this triangular structure, to do something, to actively make a choice, she gets smacked down, put right back in her place. Bottom line, in this triangle, she has neither a real choice nor a voice. It is only after seeing her desires reflected in Sharon, going toe-to-toe with her, who is the embodiment of her own self, facing what she had suppressed, and finding her peace within the emotional turmoil, that my girl is finally able to regain her voice. Mic drop. Or mic pick up, if we're talking about Myung. I just mentioned desire, an earlier triangular desire. If you want to know what that is and how it plays out in Macross Plus, I'll see you in the other video.